Delve into the shadows. Uncover the truth. This is FBI and CIA Unsealed.
Aldrich Ames was once a respected CIA officer, working quietly behind the scenes in counterintelligence. Trusted by his peers and superiors, Ames appeared to be a loyal patriot. But beneath this facade was a man harboring dangerous secrets that would soon shake the foundations of American intelligence and put countless lives at risk. Despite his trusted position, Aldrich Ames began secretly selling U.S. secrets to the Soviet Union in 1985. Driven by greed and personal troubles, he provided Moscow with the names of American agents operating in Russia, a betrayal that would cost many their lives. His double life went unnoticed for years, hidden beneath layers of deception. Unlike ideological spies of the past, Ames was motivated by money. His first payment from the KGB was $50,000, more than his annual CIA salary. Over the years, he would receive more than $2 million, allowing him to live a lavish lifestyle far beyond his means. Yet no one questioned how a mid-level analyst could afford it. Soon after Ames began spying, the CIA noticed a terrifying pattern: high-value Russian informants started vanishing. Arrested. Executed. Entire operations collapsed overnight. They didn't know it yet, but Ames was giving the KGB the names of nearly every U.S. spy working inside Soviet territory. The cost was catastrophic. Ames grew bolder over time. He met with his Soviet handlers in D.C. parking lots, used drop sites in parks, and even typed reports on CIA computers before passing them to the enemy. He followed a dangerous routine, yet no one suspected him. His quiet demeanor and insider status helped him blend in perfectly. Ames began flaunting his wealth, paying cash for a $540,000 home, buying a luxury Jaguar, and dressing in designer suits. Co-workers noticed the sudden change, but suspicions were brushed off. After all, this was the CIA, surely one of their own couldn't be the mole they were hunting, right? By the early 1990s, suspicions within the CIA and FBI intensified. Despite internal mole hunts, the leaks hadn't stopped. Quietly, a small team began tracking financial records, communication logs, and surveillance footage. One name started appearing again and again: Aldrich Ames. But evidence alone wasn't enough. They needed a trap. In 1993, the FBI launched a full-scale covert surveillance operation. Ames was followed, his phones were tapped, and his garbage was sifted for clues. Agents watched as he visited drop sites and met with foreign contacts. Every move brought them closer to undeniable proof, but one misstep could blow the case wide open. Ames grew careless. He began reusing drop locations and communicating more openly. Surveillance caught him making trips to meet foreign diplomats without clearance. The FBI tightened the noose, documenting every movement. It was only a matter of time before he crossed a line that couldn't be ignored. On February 21, 1994, after nearly a year of surveillance, the FBI made their move. As Ames left his home for work, agents surrounded his car and placed him under arrest. His wife, Rosario, was arrested shortly after. The CIA's most damaging mole had finally been caught, in broad daylight, without a fight. In a sterile FBI interrogation room, Ames faced the evidence: financial records, surveillance logs, and intercepted communications. Calm and emotionless, he confessed. He admitted to spying for nearly a decade, giving the Soviets the names of every American asset he knew. There was no remorse, only cold calculation. Ames was charged with espionage and conspiracy, one of the most damaging spy cases in U.S. history. In 1994, he pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty, receiving life in prison without parole. His wife received a reduced sentence for aiding his activities. The courtroom was silent as the weight of his betrayal sank in. The full scope of Ames' betrayal was staggering. At least 10 U.S. sources in the Soviet Union were executed. Dozens more operations were compromised. Intelligence strategies had to be rebuilt from the ground up. The CIA and FBI faced harsh criticism. How could one man cause so much damage from inside the system? In the wake of Ames' arrest, the CIA and FBI overhauled their internal security. Polygraph tests, financial audits, and tighter surveillance protocols became mandatory. The intelligence community had learned a painful lesson: even trusted insiders could become the greatest threats. And vigilance had to begin at home. Aldrich Ames now lives out his days in a high-security federal prison. No visitors. No interviews. Just silence and the weight of the lives he betrayed. His legacy is not one of ideology or patriotism, but of greed, arrogance, and irreversible damage to his country. A traitor remembered only for the destruction he left behind. The betrayal wasn't just about documents and secrets, it was about people. Brave men and women who trusted the United States were executed or imprisoned because of Ames. Families were shattered. Generations of intelligence work lost. The cost of espionage, in the end, is paid in blood. To neighbors, Ames was quiet. To co-workers, he was just another analyst. But behind closed doors, he was feeding secrets to America's enemies. His double life was a chilling reminder that not all traitors wear enemy uniforms, some wear badges of trust, while working to destroy everything they swore to protect. The Cold War was fought not just with weapons, but with whispers. Behind closed doors and coded messages, spies traded loyalty for leverage. Aldrich Ames wasn't the only mole, but his impact was among the deadliest. He became a weapon in the shadows, used by the Soviets to strike at the heart of U.S. intelligence. Ames' betrayal shattered the deep trust within the intelligence community. Agents became suspicious of their own colleagues. Every phone call, every email, every meeting was viewed with suspicion. The shadow of the mole forced the CIA and FBI to rebuild their culture from the ground up, prioritizing security above all else. The story of Aldrich Ames is a stark warning: loyalty can be broken, and the greatest threats may come from within. Today, intelligence agencies continue to fight the silent war, learning from the past to protect the future. Vigilance, trust, and integrity remain the pillars of national security. Thank you for watching this deep dive into one of the most damaging espionage cases in American history. Aldrich Ames' story is a chilling reminder that even trusted insiders can betray their country. Stay subscribed for more true stories from the world of spies, secrets, and investigations. And remember, vigilance is the first line of defense.